from the gaming, and with me is
King Gamer.
And this is an FFG Top 10. A Top 10 on
The NES games, and we have something on the table here. Let me just put a
Super NES games.
NES, SNES, whatever.
SNES.
It's
Super
the same
NES.
thing. There's just 8 bits in between them.
Do you want to start or want me to start?
Alright, you can start.
Alright, so my number 10 is one of the early games that decided that their entire game name had to be an entire sentence. Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
Technically, a sentence fragment. They couldn't even do a sentence yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't have an entire sentence in there, I guess. Kind of like the RPG. In fact, I really kind of wish they would go back to that RPG style with a lot of the newer Mario RPG games.
I've kind of adapted to the Mario and Luigi, but it would be nice to see the old one back.
Yeah. So, that's my number 10. What's your number 10?
My number 10 is Super Mario All-Stars. Had the first 3 Mario games and the Lost Levels in it.
Yeah.
I believe, what was it, 2 was the hardest Mario?
Yeah, because that was only in Japan before they released it here in the US. Yeah. My number 9 is Super 3D Noah's Ark. One of the early Christian games, one of the few Christian games on the Super NES, and it's also on the Genesis. Really like that game. I want to see more of it. So, that's my number 9.
Okay. My number 9 is Chrono Trigger. Later ported to the DS, which is where I played it. I didn't even know it was an SNES game. I was like, oh, DS game. Yay. Let's play this RPG. I got bored like within the first couple of minutes, but it's a good game.
I beat it on the Super NES. I went all the way through it. Back in the day. My number 8 is Super Mario Kart, and I think this was the first Mario Kart game.
It may have been.
If it's not, it was certainly one of the early ones. I remember it, loved it. So, neat little game where there's been tons of sequels to it.
My number 8 is Bust a Move.
Oh, yeah.
I think we might have a video of one of the Bust a Move games.
Yes, we do.
So maybe I should check that one out.
I think we had a guest player playing that.
Yeah.
My number 7 is Tetris 2. Had some different blocks in there for the Tetris, so that was pretty cool for a Tetris game.
My number 7, a game that is a Disney sort of game called Goof Troop. It's all about Goofy. Now, the part that really confused me and had me a bit wanting it to not be on the list was when I looked it up. It had the development team for Resident Evil, and they were saying it had ties to Resident Evil. And I'm like, Goofy, Resident Evil.
Doesn't mix.
There seems to be a big gap.
Maybe it's the same people or something.
Yeah, that's what it was, and they're like, oh, we'll have reference. Oh, why?
Alright. My number 6 is Donkey Kong Country. I know there were 3. I just picked the first one because it was the first one to come out. It had the that was an early game to do the CGI graphics. So that was pretty cool back in the day.
Let's be honest, the really good Donkey Kong was the one on the N64, which we will have a video up for soon. My number 6, you talked about this, Super Noah's Ark 3D, or Wolfenstein mod.
Yeah. It was modeled off the Wolfenstein, for those that don't know. Or cloned, or, we'll say cloned. My number 5 is Super Mario World, and if I remember correctly, that was actually a pack-in. It came in with the system when you bought the system. Back in the day, we actually got a game that came with the system.
Was it Wii that stopped that, I believe?
No, we had Wii Sports.
Yeah, but wasn't it Wii the last system that actually
came with
the... Yeah, I believe
Probably.
It was. Okay, so... My number 5 is Earthbound, or Mother 2, whichever way you want to play it. I played most of the way through Earthbound, and then we got in with Kimco, and since then I've been kind of busy with RPGs.
My number 4 is Sim City. Sim game on the Super NES, pretty cool.
The question is it better than that one we have a video for on the PC 2000?
I mean, probably not better, but certainly for its era, for its time, it was pretty good.
Just SimCity on a console, it doesn't seem to work as well as a computer.
No, it worked good. I mean, because you sit there and move the controller around for your cursor.
I know, but it just seems more clunky. Like, less movement capability. My number 4 is, I almost said Superman, but a Super Mario World. There was a Superman game, and apparently it was good, the Death and Rise. But Super Mario World, it's had tons and tons of ROM hacks. It's been brought back in Mario Maker. Unfortunately, Nintendo keeps going the 3D route with Mario, which just needs to stop.
My number 3 is Wordtris. Wordtris was like Tetris, except you spelled words. So you had letters that were coming down, you spelled words.
So it's Bookworm.
It was, well, in Bookworm you're picking across the things, but here you're dropping letters and you're trying to get the different rows to drop and make words. It was pretty cool, very educational. I think we have a video of that on our channel.
Though the question is, how big of a vocabulary could it have actually had?
Well, I think it had the Rah Rah Rasputin song in it, or something similar. Very Russian song, like Tetris. I think it came from the same people too.
Okay, so my number 3, talked about it before, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Long Names. The first Mario RPG.
I remember that you started early on, and Bowser joined your party, and then Bowser betrayed you, and it was a cool game.
It also had quite a few references to the other games. I believe it was if you went to the end, you could actually find Link or something.
I don't remember, but it wouldn't surprise me. The Square Enix made it, and that was like an early Square Nintendo partnership. So.
Who's Square Enix? Do you mean SquareSoft? Were they still SquareSoft?
Yeah, they were SquareSoft back then. Yeah. My number 2 is Troy Aikman Football. One of the football games I really enjoyed.
Oh, the Jaguar one.
Yeah, played on the Jaguar. I got a video for it there. It was also on the Genesis Super NES. Really, enthralled with that game. So it's my number 2.
My number 2 is NBA Jam. Can't have a top 10 without them.
Yeah, that to me, Jam was an honorable mention. But yeah, I'm glad you got it on yours because really like NBA Jam, fun game. My number 1 is NBA Live '98. We did a video of that. We had a blast.
That's the one that was like kind of like Jam, but it wasn't really.
Yeah, I think didn't we get like a massive? We both got triple-digit score. I mean, we were just so. And weren't we like raining threes at one point? We were just like three. Just back and forth. We kept doing threes.
I think it may have been that, or it was all dunks. I don't think it was the one that was all.
No, this one I think we could do threes if I remember right. Anyway, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Frogger. Unfortunately, we haven't really had a game. You know what I want? Here, are you listening here, Konami and such? Frogger, VR. How about some VR? Can we have some VR? Frogger VR. Could you imagine how scary it would be? You're just hopping around in VR.
Oh, you're talking first person.
Truck. Okay, game over.
You're talking first person Frogger.
What's the problem?
I mean, you could also do a Castle Storm VR, where you're like, you could...
Well, then you know the car's coming, and it's no fun.
Yeah. First person would be kind of cool. You have to look... because you have to look around. You have to look left and right before you jump. That'd be pretty neat.
And you can see, like, the arm. They better have us be able to see our legs. That I don't understand why so many first-person games can't have legs. Like,
hopefully Konami's listening. Hopefully, that would be a pretty cool game. So... that's our top 10 for the Super NES games. If you agree, disagree, leave a comment below, like this video, subscribe.
Why don't you make your own top 10 listing? Maybe we'll like it.
Yeah, put it, put the games you think belong, down below. A lot of other media outlets have sounded off on this, so this is just us doing our thing. I'd like to thank everyone for watching.
And say, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.